Good morning, everyone. Boker Tov. It's amazing how one word in the Torah could change your whole life. If you just absorb one word and live by that word, you will live on a whole different plane. In this week's Torah portion, it talks about the mitzvah of charity, of taking care of the needy and the poor. And one of the mitzvot is that when you loan someone money, a poor person, you should not charge them interest. And the Torah says, Kesef talvet ami, if you make a loan to a person, etani imach, to the poor person with you. And so the commentaries ask, what is that extra word imach doing in the verse? It could have just said, if you loan money to a poor person. Why does the Torah add the word with you? Who is with you? Of course the person is with you. There's no extra words in the Torah. And so one answer the commentaries say is that etani imach, the poor person is with you. He's living amongst you. He's a member of your community. And therefore you have a responsibility to take care of them, to give them charity, or to loan them money interest-free. And that's why we have free loan societies in every Jewish community till this very day, because of this week's Torah portion's commandment. But there's another beautiful answer given by Rashi. Rashi said, etani imach, why is the word imach in the verse added? The poor man with you. Rashi says the most beautiful words. Tistakel ba'atzmecha ki'ilu ata ani. What the verse is teaching us is, view yourself as though you were poor. Think of yourself as a poor person. Imach, who is with you, as though he was you. And when you imagine what it must be like to be poor, you will have empathy, compassion, love, and you will give this person and care for them more generously. And here the Torah is telling us, if we just took the time to think about the plight of the poor person, we would have a different relationship with them, because we would understand, A, how fortunate we are, and be grateful that we're not in that situation, and have compassion for that person. The greatest museum I've ever gone to in my life is in Israel, and it's called the Blind Museum. There's a museum in Israel called the Blind Museum, where for 90 minutes you experience what it's like to be blind. You go into rooms that are pitch dark with no windows, you're given a walking stick, and you have to figure out how to navigate, how to go shopping, how to eat in a cafeteria, how to do all different experiences in blindness. And you have a tour guide who's blind, but you don't see him till the end. And when you walk out of this museum and you see light for the first time, you're so grateful that you can see. And you meet your tour guide, and he talks to you about being blind. And I remember vividly, after that museum tour, I would be jumping from joy every time I saw light or saw any beautiful view, and thinking, wow, this tour guide of mine, he never saw his wife or his children, and he has to navigate life without vision. And you have such a deep appreciation and such a sensitivity for blind people and what they have to deal with, and the lack of sight that they unfortunately experience. And till today, so many years later, if I see a blind person on the street, I'll go over to them, I'll try to help them with much more love and compassion, because I know what it's like, because I experienced it for 90 minutes. Imagine if there was a poor museum where you experience poverty for one day, or if there was a handicap museum where you experience what it's like to have to be in a wheelchair or have some other physical handicap. It would make us much more compassionate people. And therefore the Torah says, etani imach. Imagine as though you were poor, and that will transform your relationship with the poor person. On Saturday, one of the hostages that came out was this Russian boy, Sasha Trufanov. And his girlfriend, Sapir Cohen, was taken captive with him on October 7, hostage. And she was released 55 days later. And thank God, on Saturday, he was finally released after 15 months, 498 days, and reunited with her. And it was one of those beautiful, heartwarming reunions. But she related something yesterday that was absolutely fascinating. Her boyfriend was held in captivity for almost 500 days. He was shot in both legs on October 7th. For many of the days, not only did he experience starvation and lack of water and lack of light and air, but he was actually chained with one of his legs to a pole in the cave. And he told her that he really didn't think he would make it out alive. And he said throughout the days in captivity, he prayed that she, Sapir, would meet another man and fall in love with him and get married. Because he said, I thought about you all the time, and I said, I don't want you to spend the rest of your life waiting for me to get out. I want you to find someone, find happiness, find love, and get married. And I thought to myself, wow, here's a person experiencing the greatest hell on earth, the greatest terror tunnel in the world, fearing for his life every moment. And he's not even thinking about himself. He's thinking about his love, his girlfriend, that she should be happy. She should find someone else and move on with her life. What a degree of compassion, of empathy, of sensitivity, of caring for others, even when they're in the most unfortunate plight themselves. How much more so that if, thank God, we have blessings in our lives, and we see someone who's in an unfortunate situation, we have to have empathy. As the Torah said, imach, imagine yourself in that situation, and then deal kindly and generously and lovingly and empathetically with that person. Have a wonderful day.